Good morning, y'all. It is Sunday morning here in Arkansas. It's about, I don't know, maybe 40 degrees outside today. I'm in the outdoor garden, and it's the perfect time to plant some tulip bulbs today, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, little interruption before we ever get started. Knox is obsessed with checking the mail, so he wants to go check the mail. I'm not quite comfortable with him doing that alone right now because our mailbox is on a really busy road. We actually live on a curve or a bend in the road, and people fly down this road, just go way too fast. We've actually had multiple times where people have hit our mailbox and knocked it over. We even had a kid one day run into our fence and knock our fence down with all our animals inside. So that was a little bit of a disaster. So anyways, we're gonna go check the mail real quick. Why are we so obsessed with checking the mail lately?
Because I really want that book.
You really want what book?
Look, she said you know what it is.
She ordered you something? Nebo ordered you something?
It's half of my Christmas book.
Half of your Christmas book, huh? Hey, Tucker, you need to wait on us, okay?
What is Mittens doing?
Oh, there's Mitten Kitten.
Tucker, Mittens is following
Mittens has warmed up quite well to us, hasn't she?
What?
She likes to stay on that side of the fence when Boomer's out because Boomer gets on her nerves, but she loves the boys.
Yeah.
Okay, no mail. I tried to tell him there was no mail on Sunday. But we got to stop for some Wanda love, don't we?
Wait, are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh. Wanda. I got bottle.
You like to pretend like you have a bottle.
She's sexy all the time.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
Wanda was a bottle baby, so.
Wanda. Aaron's over there.
Yep.
He's not really much of a lover.
Have a lover. Yeah, Wanda's a sweet girl.
I like Wanda more than Aaron.
Yeah.
Wanda, I got a little bottle.
Okay, and I'm back to my original task. Let me flip you around and show you what the garden looks like right now. So if you'll remember in previous videos, I've kind of decided to try this whole outdoor garden area out, which is not just a huge area. I mean, it's big enough for sure, but try it out as just like a cut flower garden. So before I had made that decision, I had already planted these fall crops. So I'm going to let these guys run their course, and then they will be replaced with some probably cool weather flowers. I've got some ranunculus going inside. If you watched my pre-sprouting video on that first set of ranunculus, they are doing really, really well. They actually are ready to go on the ground. However, I've got frost covering or frost cloth ordered, and it's not scheduled to be here for quite a while, like the beginning of December, which was not ideal, but I didn't really have any other choice. So I'm kind of trying to hold out as long as I can. So ranunculus do need to go in the ground pretty soon. I already started my second round of pre-sprouting the rest of them and my anemones. I'm just really waiting on the frost cover, but all of our hoops are up. They look really good. They're going to work out really well. I'm actually so pleased with how they turned out. But yeah, this is going to be our just kind of summer or our cut flower garden. These are peppers that need to be cut down. I'm going to do that today. You can see here, y'all, if you ever needed any encouragement that you don't really have to know what you're doing in order to grow food and flowers, this should be it, because these are sweet peas here all along this trellis, and I have some on the other side. I completely screwed this up when I sowed these in the ground. I direct sowed these several weeks ago. Apparently when you do this, before you put them in the ground, you're supposed to pre-soak them. Or put them in the freezer to kind of get them going. I did not do that. I just got the packet in the mail, put them in the ground, and then learned that I should have pre-soaked them. Didn't do it. Thought that it would just be a total flop. It would be a loss. And then all of a sudden they came up and they look great. So these are going to be my sweet peas here. Here, I did go ahead where you see all the straw here, and on this side, that's actually garlic. Because I didn't really have any other place to put it. So I put it in here. And what I'm going to do today is put my tulips down the rest of that bed there. I'm going to take these peppers out, and then tulips are going to go down there. I'm hoping I can fit all of my tulips in these two small areas. I don't have just a ton. So yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do. Okay, so this is what I've got. Most of these came from ADR Bulbs. these two varieties. When I decided to order tulips and ranunculus and anemones, I did so kind of late in the game, and a lot of stuff was sold out. So I ended up with these two varieties. I actually ordered 3 varieties, and by the time they shipped them to me, they had sold out of one of the varieties. So anyways, I've got this Tulip Angelique. It's a double tulip, so it's got like kind of the doesn't look like your standard tulip. It's got more petals. It's a little fuller. It's prettier to me. And it's called a double late. Double meaning it's that's what it looks like. And I think the late means that it blooms a little bit later spring. And then this is what is that? Double flag, I think is what that's called. Super pretty. And it's a double early, and I think, if I understand, I Googled this, and if I understand correctly, it will bloom a little earlier than these. But I intentionally ordered an early one and a late one just to kind of see what they were going to look like. And then I've got some of these because I can't resist when I go to Lowe's or Home Depot. I always have to pick something up. So I got that. These, I don't even know if I'm saying this right. Crocus. I don't even really know what they are, but I got those. And then here are these. This is another double variety. So that's just like your standard tulip there. You can see that. And then that one's a double variety. I really wanted to get some of the fringed variety, but they were all sold out by the time I had decided to do this. So this is what I've got. This is what I'm going to plant today, and I thought I'd just walk you through the process. Okay, step 1 is done. You can see here, I dug up all those pepper plants, or I don't know, 5 or 6 plants. I dug them up. One of the things that I've really been trying to do the past year is focus on regenerating the soil. So like regenerative practices, I feel like that is kind of a buzzword right now in the farming, homesteading, gardening world. Regenerating your soil and, trying to disturb it as little as possible, adding all the good nutrients back in. Well, I didn't really do that here. I don't know that you can really do that when you're planting tulip bulbs because, I feel like if I was trying to disturb the soil as little as possible, I would have clipped those pepper plants off at the base, let the roots stay in the ground, let those roots decompose, add all the good nutrients back in without disturbing all those good microbes and things that are going on underneath the ground here. Well, I can't do that when I'm planting these tulip bulbs, or at least I don't feel like I can, because first of all, I'm going to be digging a trench here about 6 inches deep along this whole area. Secondly, these tulip bulbs I'm going to plant really close together. I'll show you in just a minute, and I can't have roots in the ground because I won't be able to plant them close together. So I really didn't have a choice but to dig them up. So I guess technically this isn't like regenerative practices, which I'm good with. It's fine. I'm using regenerative practices where I can, and where I can't, it is what it is. So that's what I've done. Dug the pepper plants up. I'm going to go ahead now and dig a trench down here. It's going to be about 6 inches deep. So these beds here where the tulips are going are, I'm guesstimating, roughly 30 inches wide. So I'm going to dig a trench 30 inches wide, about 6 inches deep. Shouldn't be too bad because the soil here is pretty good and loose. It's been worked quite a bit. And yeah, so we're just going to get started. Okay, I'm done. I'm breathing kind of heavy. It was a little bit more of a workout than I thought it was going to be. It really wasn't hard to dig. It's just doing that same repetitive motion over and over again. Get your breath up a little bit. Okay, so this is roughly 6 inches deep. I didn't measure it. I'm just eyeballing it because that's how I do things. So it's roughly 6 inches deep, looks like about 30 inches wide. I don't know if the video portrays it or not, but as you get back towards the greenhouse there, it's not as deep. And I intentionally did that because this whole garden is on a slope. We've never actually leveled it out. So it slopes down towards the greenhouse. So I'm trying to gradually build it up on that back end. So I intentionally did not dig it quite as deep. And then I'll just pile a little more soil back on top when I cover these tulips up. But we're ready to start planting tulips. So when you're planting tulip bulbs, if you've never planted them before, you want to plant them pointy end up. Okay, that's pretty important. So pointy end goes up. Make sure you can see me well. These guys are going to go in really close together, and we're just going to get started. Okay, y'all, the sun is officially out. It's warming up just a little bit here. That is all the tulip bulbs. I was surprised. I didn't know exactly how far they would go, but I thought for sure I would at least fill up one full trench, but I didn't. You can see I still have that little bit back there, but that's roughly, after I've added in what I bought from Lowe's, that's roughly 500 bulbs there. And gosh, what is that? Maybe 10-ish feet? About 30, maybe a little wider than 30 inches and about 10 feet. That's about 500 bulbs, just under 500. So it's a little disappointing that I didn't get to fill in that whole trench. It's okay though. I'm going to cover it here in a minute. And then I still have the rest of this bed here to put other cool weather flowers in, which is actually good because I had some other seeds that I wanted to start, but I was holding off because I didn't think that I would have the room in here to put them in this garden, but now I have a little extra space freed up. So next step is just to cover these guys up, and what I'll do is I actually haven't amended this bed from where I dug the pepper plants out. So I've got a little compost up by the tunnel up there, so I need to walk out there. I'm going to grab it because it's in bags, and I'll probably mix that in a little bit with what I've got here, and we're just going to fill in, y'all. Okay, y'all, we are done. Morning well spent. I feel very accomplished. This is something I've needed to get done for, I don't know, the last 2 weeks or so. So I'm glad it's done. I covered them all back up with the same soil that I dug out of the trenches, added in a little bit of compost, and then I went ahead and mulched with some straw mulch you can see behind me. So this should be early spring blooms. You know, probably not 100% of them will come up, but most of them should come up. We should have some tulips early spring. Thanks for hanging with me this morning. I enjoyed having y'all along with me, and we will catch you next time.